Hey everyone, on your third day of making your infographic about your quarantine life, you're going to be adding in your own self portrait and your own text and title for your art. With your portrait, remember that it can be a picture of yourself, a selfie, a Bitmoji, or even a drawing of yourself. I chose to do a drawing of myself. Here's how you upload your pictures, because you shouldn't be able to get this from the internet. It's a picture of yourself. You need to go to uploads, and you can see I already have uploaded some things over here, and you're going to go to upload an image or video, and a window is going to pop up. You can't see it because Screencastify only lets me do one window at a time. But I have an option basically that says where my desktop is and a bunch of pictures. So I'm going to choose the picture that I want, which is my quarantine selfie that I drew. And I really looked at my brainstorming for this. I saw that I had a large percentage of time that I spent sewing and a large percentage of time that I spent baking. So instead of taking me a picture of me doing both, I decided to just draw a quick picture of myself, and then I colored it in Photoshop. So when you're ready, when your image is uploaded, which this one is now, you can just click on it and boom, it's all in here. My image, I'm pretty happy with the way it looks right now, but maybe if I put in a photograph, I would want to edit it or change it in some way. So Canva gives you quite a few options to do just that. I'm going to actually show you guys on the rainbow background that I have, because I don't want to do anything to my Miss Braun picture, but you have a couple different things you can do, actually a few. You have effects. So this is, you click on these different types of effects and it completely changes your image a little bit. So it might pixelate it, it could liquefy it. These are like crazy cool, insane effects. One thing I do want to let you know is they take a long time to do. You can filter your image. So filter is just like Instagram, how you guys do. You can click on it. I mean, that's none, afterglow. And you can intensify the effect that it has. You can de-intensify the effect that it has. It's really up to you. I'm going to go with none on mine, actually. You can adjust it. So you can, by moving this little button on the sliding scale, you can change brightness, contrast, saturation, tint, blur, all these things, a vignette. So that means that I can make it look like it's like darker around the edges, which actually looks kind of nice. I might leave that. I like that effect a little bit. But if you don't want any of that, you can just reset it. I'm actually going to keep the vignette. The crop, I did crop my image a little bit, but I don't really want to crop it anymore. It's where I want it. You can also always turn your image too. That's what I did with mine. So it could go back to where it was, that type of thing. You can flip it if you want it to completely flip horizontally or vertically. One thing that I like to do with the background, especially when I'm using a photograph, is I like to change the transparency. So I'm going to actually knock this down to like 85%, because I want everything that's in front of it to show up a little bit more than the background. So once you have your self-portrait in there and you're happy with the way it looks, you've used the effects that you want to use, you then want to move on to using a title. So your title should obviously have something about quarantine life in it. I decided to do mine by week, so I need to make sure that week is somewhere in my title. So as a reminder, this should be familiar to you guys from last week. I'm going to, I think, have some smaller text and then some larger text. So I'm going to actually add a subheading first. And that little plus sign means you can move it. And I'm going to type a week in the, and I'm just going to leave that like that actually. And then I'm going to add a heading, and I'm going to use capital letters for this because I really want it to stand out. Quarantined life. Need to make these edges a little bit bigger. And I'll move this up. Quarantine life. And then I want to do one more subheading of Miss Braun. So now what I can do with all these different texts, we'll mess with quarantine life so you guys can see it. If you highlight the text, you can do a lot with it. So you can change the type of text. So when you go down to this very most left thing, you can change your text to anything you want. Anything that kind of works for you guys, makes sense for you guys. That kind of looks cool. Looks kind of contained a little bit. You can change the size, and that also affects the spacing that you have. I can change the color, so maybe white would look nice. Maybe not. Maybe gray. Maybe black. I'll keep it black. You can italicize it. You can bold it. This is already a bold style. You can underline it. You can change the way that it's lined up on the page. You can do left, center, um, centralized in the middle. You can change from lowercase to uppercase. Mine's already uppercase. Spacing, what this means is you can change the letter spacing between to spread them out. You can also get them really, really close together. So I kind of like that happy medium. You can also change the way the spacing is vertically too. The other thing you can do on this dot, dot, dot is you can change transparency of your, oh, that kind of looks cool, of your text too. You can also work on positioning. So like if you want it to go back behind something else, it could disappear behind my other work. So it's kind of faded behind there. Or you could have it come forward. Backward and forward is what that means. So that's how you do your self-portrait and text. I'm going to mess around with this a little bit more. I'm not quite happy with the way it looks, but I won't bore you guys with that.